we didn't feel comfortable in hypotheticals and wanted to kind of hear directly from the horses now in terms of the statistics of the department, the implementation of the policies that we've collaborated together on. Obviously, one of the issues that we worked on recently was the employee promotional process, which you'll see tonight is posted as a resolution and moving forward. Chief, thank you very much. I'm going to give you the floor at this time.
Thank you, Mayor. As everyone's aware, I was asked to address the council this evening following the review of my report on July 19th, I believe it was. After that, I had queried each council person and asked if they had a list of specific questions that you would like answered, that you send them to me. I only received 3, and that was from Councilman Mann. I will try to answer his questions, plus some other issues I know that were brought up at the meeting, and hopefully we can clear some issues up. Councilman Manning, you asked, has attendance and on-time performance improved? Prior to this, it really wasn't a problem, but it hasn't been brought to my issue that that's changed. So to the best of my knowledge, everyone showed up on time, and they seem to be very happy with what you say. Mandatory training, that was a good question. Yes, we are able to do that. The overtime is actually 0. Occasionally, we have to pay with comp time, which you know eventually translates to money. The only officers who have been receiving comp time for training, such as mandatory training, use of force, domestic violence, firearms, first aid, CPR, things of that nature, would be the instructors, and that's as far as institute programs and special details, yes, we have. We've enforced crosswalks. We do seatbelt campaign, other things as well. And as you know, we can only do that when we have a full complement. In the real world, there's always someone injured, there's always someone sick, vacation, personal days, whatever. But we have been able to institute at least 2 of those programs since we spoke.
The reason I had asked those questions, everybody seems to kind of focus on productivity, which is important, which was one of the key components that we got looked at when we looked at going to 12 hours. However, there are other things that make up an operational or functional police force or department. And without that, I know you can't do what you need to do. So my concern is that the day-to-day police work and expanding the reach into the community, now that we do have 12 hours, because that was also part of what counseling and negotiating from the focus on when we discussed 12 hours. It would afford you as the chief to institute, a broader range of different programs to look at the safety and well-being of
Councilman, that, as you are well aware, it would be difficult for us to institute new programs because we do several already. And we've had them in place for years. We do the Adopt a Cop program, Any Evil Gun Safety program. There, we've also been able to bring in a great program, which is gang-resistant education and training. Not so much that we have a real gang problem, because we do not, but there is that influence there. So we're trying to de-glamorize that within the children. So there are things that we have continued to do, and we will continue to do.
Right, along with that, I was under the impression, a long time ago we were on that board, I was led to believe that it was going to be more like motor vehicle stops, like I'm just picking a street, Belong Avenue, or I saw them once on Knickerbocker, motor vehicle checks and registration, things like that. Has that been able to happen?
Yes. Well,
more than it did before?
Yes, as I was just explaining to the council, we have been able to do the crosswalk enforcement, which is a campaign I'm familiar with, where a decoy officer will stand in the crosswalk.
Doing that.
We've done that twice. We do the buckle up seatbelt program. We do random motor vehicle stops where I'm able to deploy 2 or 3 officers to enforce everything from cell phone violations to, yeah, you name it, we do it.
It has afforded you more time to do something like that as well.
It has,
Well,
but like
yeah.
I said, we can't expect to do that every week because of the
No.
perfect conditions, that doesn't work.
Once a month, I mean, it afforded that.
We're getting to the point where that's probably realistic.
And it was a direct reflection of the 12-hour shift.
Yes, I have more men on the road.
I just want to clarify one thing, Chief. The overtime with regard to the training, that's because the trainers are our staff, and they're certified trainers, so we're doing it in-house.
Yes, I'm sorry, I thought I was clear. Yeah, for that type of training, we train ourselves, and they are hold certifications for different things. In addition, it brought to my attention a question of why detectives don't issue summonses.
I was just gonna ask you that.
I've taken the liberty of documenting some of their responsibilities. I'm sure it's not all spick and five here. I'm sure I can come up with some more information. You can see the detectives are pretty good, and their function is not to be summons writers, they're investigators. And as far as the captain, I believe that was brought up as well.
Yeah, I think the phrase was senior officers.
Senior officers are not expected to be issuing summonses. Captain Falborn acts as the officer in charge of the department in my absence. His responsibilities include overseeing the detective bureau, firearms investigations, workman's compensation, ordering new cars, you name it, he's in charge of it. He oversees it all. And if he's out there issuing summonses, there's going to be a problem with me. I can guarantee you that. Because I need an inside doing what's supposed to be done.
So thank you for that clarification.
I had 2, and I apologize for not having any time for your
It's
question.
okay.
This is a big general question, and I'm asking you, since you had a 12-hour shift, do you feel you have enough men, adequately staffed, or is it an overabundance of men at this point? The safety of the
I don't think I could ever say there's an overabundance. I think at the staffing levels right now are adequate.
That's my first
I would
question.
never say we have too many officers, because you can always use them at some doing something. So I would say at this point right now, we are adequately staffed. I would not recommend going below this staff.
Second question I had was, my concern at the time of 12-hour shift when we did the negotiations was, have you seen any trouble or problems arising from these guys sitting in for 12 hours? I'm not saying sleeping, but overtired.
Fatigue factor?
Yeah, fatigue factor. And safety with a gun in there.
No, I was very concerned about that. I spoke with the councilman, both Stigliano and on numerous occasions about that. And I've made it a point to check on that and to be vigilant. And I have not incurred any reason or seen any reason why I believe that the guys are coming to work exhausted. An example of things like that would be an increase in the number of motor vehicle accidents with the officers, demeanor complaints, and I haven't seen a rise in any of that.
I have a couple of questions.
Councilman Silian.
It was brought up at the last meeting, you and I spoke, and so I already know the answer to the question, but for the benefit of everybody here, in your report, there's a category that says other summonses. Can you give a description of what that includes?
Just give me one second,
There's
Councilman.
2 areas that say that, Chief.
Yeah, is this the one you're talking about?
I believe so, the pie chart.
Okay. First of all, this is not the best document we can have. This program came modeled after another department, and I've spoken to Lieutenant Boris in reference to this, and we're going to change some of the things. But I still can answer your question. Other violations would be equipment violations, headlights, something hanging from a rear view mirror, illegible license plates, snow on the roof. I know that came up, and we issued about 15 summonses for that last week. Those are the other violations.
Cell phone and all?
Cell phones would fall into that as well.
Just an intangible, I know you can't pick it up, with, cold hard statistics, but I think it's important, and I'm not throwing you a softball because I know the way you're gonna answer it. The morale department, after the switch from 8 hours to 12, I'm assuming that is much better.
Well, Councilman, the only way I can answer that is, one, yeah, I personally believe that the officers are liking it better, and the statistics speak for themselves. Sick time, the hours it takes to replace officers on sick time at an overtime rate are down. Productivity's up. I think that's the simplest way to explain it in a nutshell.
Yeah,
The officers are happy, they're showing up for work, they're not calling in sick, and they're doing their job.
That was the question for candidates.
Harry, you can.
Just one more, how detrimental would it be to the department if this council would, would go back, or instructed to go back to 8 hours?
Well,
What type of an effect would it have?
Speaking candidly, I think it would be disastrous for you to make that decision. And I'll tell you why. To take back this schedule, even though I'm not a fan of it, and I never have been, there's no reason to take it back. If you have a just cause, if they're not living up to what they said they were going to do, then by all means take it back. From what I can see, the PBA members are doing what they said they were going to do. And another reason, I've been around police officers and police work for a long time. And I know what happens when they feel that things are happening unjustly to them. Sick time rises and with that, so it comes overtime.
Yeah, that was my question to you, is I remember going through negotiations that you were not in favor of it in the beginning.
Well, I never have been, but those reasons are one.
Later on, step away from the things, but I'm just saying now, if you're our lead appointment man, and you're saying, yeah, it's working pretty good, I feel
It's
very
working.
confident.
The reason, and I've never hidden the fact, is it's harder for me to administer the department. It's kind of hard, more difficult to keep the span of control going. But, this is what it is, so we do it.
Just one question, going back to this format. You explained other violations, but you also have another 20% other down the bottom. Is that part of the other on top, or what is, like, when I try to figure this
Yeah,
out?
I'll get very honest with you too. Like I said, this is not the best example, and when Bob was trying to explain it to me, he wasn't doing a very good job.
It's not so.
Okay, I have a few questions for you.
But like I said, he has a call out, and we're gonna change our format on this.
This is the TO7.
That was exactly what it is. That's this department's code for all my departments. There was a borough ordinance 16, whatever it is.
Okay.
That's their code. It was never changed when we received the code.
So parking violations and that should be one and the
Well,
same?
they would be married together.
Married
Yes.
together.
Chief,
Thank you.
I know I had told you this, the chart, the numbers don't jive, for whatever reason, so maybe you could just clarify which has the right numbers for graph and,
Well, the correct numbers would be the chart I gave you here. 2011 summons report, this would be accurate.
okay, all right, so it's different than this.
Yeah, sometimes what happens also, summonses will be turned in late, so they don't make it to the report. They might show up on the next one. So there are going to be times when it's off quite a few, but it shouldn't be as extreme as this one.
The question came up from Councilman about having too many men on the shift or not enough. And you said, your staff's okay. What would happen with less men? What if you lost men? What would happen to the department or to the town or anything else?
First of all, we wouldn't be able to do some of the programs that the residents have become accustomed to having. I might have to call my DA officer. May have to take officers out of the detective bureau, they handle patrol calls. We definitely wouldn't be able to do the extra motor vehicle enforcement that we discussed. And in my opinion, we would have a detrimental effect. I'd just like to add something too. In 1975, police department had 6 full-time detectives, a full-time juvenile officer, and a dare officer. And we probably had a third of the workload that we do today. Today we have 3 full-time detectives and 1 dare officer, and the detectives have assumed the juvenile officer's role, which they really shouldn't be doing for the respect of the community. So, as you know, whether we like it or we don't like it, Dumont is a very busy, small police department. And that's just the way it is, it always has been, and I'm sure it's going to continue to do that.
And also, again, going through the negotiations, I do know you weren't a fan of the 12-hour shift. You said you weren't a fan of it. Can you give us a little feedback why you might be a fan now, why you think they're working?
Well, I feel it's working because the statistics prove that, show that. My problem is if I have to reprimand an officer, which they like, I may not see the officer for 2 or 3 weeks or a month possibly before I get that opportunity. And I lose a little bit of esteem, which I don't like. So, right, that's just one of the things. And my issue, like the councilman said, is more personal to me the way I run a police department. And, we've worked through the issues and I don't see a problem.
Thank you.
I just have one thing. Chief, I've been a proponent of 12 hours, and I was part of the team when we did this back in December 31st of 09 at about 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Yes. And I've been a proponent about it, and I've been involved in this type of activity in the past. And I just want to touch on something, and it's not my feeling, but I want to bring it up because it's been brought up in other meetings. With regards to the promotions, we're looking at a captain and 3 sergeants. That's the request. We're going to go forward with the process. If we reverted back, we're looking at a captain and 3 sergeants now for 12-hour shifts. If we reverted back to the 8-hour shift, would you still need a captain and 3 sergeants?
Yes. The work that 6-3 shift is going to return to, it takes more police officers to operate that shift than it does.
I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Any further questions? Chief, as always, thank you very much for your commitment to this town.
You're welcome.
Every day the officers and yourself make me very proud. You're doing a great job in handling the railroad closures. Traffic is moving.
That's another story. For another day.
I've
Yeah.
listened to the radio all day.
But you're keeping the cars moving. So, and again, thank you again for making yourself available.
Thank you very much.
Very informative and extremely helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. I appreciate it. Thank
If
you.
anyone else has questions, please let the chief know as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Since we were convening tonight, I've spoken with Councilman Freeman, who's the chairman of our finance committee, about moving the ordinances for our capital, which you'll see, and I spoke to Sue, and I figured let's just get some of the non-controversial items moving as well, just to lighten up the workload. There were 3 resolutions that were added this afternoon, which I will go over. The reason being, the first was an oversight on my part on the police promotion resolution, not to include that in the original agenda issued on Friday. Secondly, there was a meeting last night with myself, Councilman Carrick, Councilman Nana, and the Shade Tree Commission over specific language in the forestry management plan that's being submitted to the state. They removed certain language that I felt, as well as Councilman Nana felt, was too binding for the borough, however, didn't undermine their efforts. And the third item was acknowledgement of the third quarter tax bill grace period. The tax bills were mailed yesterday, and they will be in people's mailboxes today and tomorrow. The deadline has been extended to August 26th. That information memorializes it. That information will be posted on the borough website as well as out front. Please, if you come out, people are chomping at the bit to pay their taxes, which is always a good thing. If you do come across any of our residents, inform them that they do have to return it before the penalty period. Correct? Right, so let's go over the consent agenda. And after we go over the consent agenda and prior to recessing and reconvening, we have a small or a personnel matter for closed session. First resolution is Resolution 170, approval of the capital budget amendment. Resolution 171, Kevin Jernowski to rescind application to the fire department. Resolution 172, Paul Morad to accept application as a member of the fire department auxiliary. Resolution 173, Ryan Rothschild to accept application as a member of the fire department auxiliary. 174, Felix Alec to accept resignation as a former employee. 175, Frontier Room, approval of live entertainment request for September 17, 2001. 176, approval of Dumont High School Music Boosters off-premises merchandise raffle to be thrown on November 14, 2011. RL 348, ID 109-5-36714. Resolution 177, approval of the DHS Music Boosters on-premise cash raffle for the month of 9/16/11, 10/16/11, 10/28/11, and 11/4. RL 349, ID 109-5-36714. Resolution 178, approval to request a hold of block party on Mill Avenue, September 17, 2011. Resolution 179, authorization of the city code to cancel certain checks in the amount of $215. Resolution 180, authorization of public reassessment and advertising for request for proposals. Resolution 181, authorization to enter the shared server for the purpose of property reassessment. Resolution 182, special emergency appropriation, preparation and execution of borough-wide reassessment of real property, $250,000. Resolution 183, authorization to bond for 2011 capital projects. Resolution 184, adoption of the 2011-2015 Community Forestry Management Plan. Resolution 185, police department promotions, authorization of records examinations not to exceed $10,000. Resolution 186, acknowledgement of third quarter tax bill grace period. Any questions on the resolutions? Councilman Freeman.
This 182, is that special emergency because it's going to affect this year's budget but it wasn't appropriated?
I'll let,
Yeah, for the
It's-
250.
No, it's a special emergency because we're gonna raise it next, fifth, next year and four subsequent years.
Okay,
Which
so,
has no effect on this year's budget.
so the 250 because it's across 5 years, is the 250 just because that's the total value? If there wasn't anything,
Total cost.
right,
Yeah, that's,
but really the impact is only 1/5 in terms
yeah,
of on an
yeah,
annual basis.
next year and the subsequent
Right.
year.
That's a good,
Right, yeah, it could be less than that, but, thanks.
any other questions, Councilman? Councilman Casper.
Could somebody just go through, I've got a good part of it, 1435, the ordinance,
Just real
We
quick,
ain't got there yet.
before we get there.
still on the motion.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's, actually, 1435 is the ordinance authorizing, I'll let, Terry, you wanna handle that?
My question is, first of all, $250,000 covers everything, is that, it says appropriated for preparation and execution, so that's everything, there's not gonna be something extra, is there?
No, it's actually, we actually, the number will go up to 250.
For the entire thing, correct?
Is it my understanding that we're borrowing the money and then paying back a fifth, a fifth, and a fifth?
No, hopefully
Okay.
we'll be able to absorb it in our cash flow, but we will have to raise it in the next 5 years.
Okay, so why are we doing an ordinance? I'm confused. Where is it?
That's what
because,
Brian,
because you have, in order to appropriate the funds, if you're not going to be appropriating from your current operating budget, it's gotta be in the form of an ordinance, a fund ordinance or some other funding ordinance.
Okay.
That's why you're authorizing it, you're authorizing the action by resolution, and then you're authorizing the funding by ordinance.
Okay,
It's
Funding
like
by ordinance.
any other capital project,
but it's not,
but it's not a capital project.
but
You're treating it as a capital project for financing purposes.
okay, that makes sense. Does everyone, this part understand that?
Otherwise, it would be a budgetary issue.
Then we have, second reading ordinance number 1433, the dedication of the Washington Dumont Virginia Avenue intersection to honor and memory of Matthew LaPorte. And then we have first reading on, 1434, bond ordinance variance 2011 capital budget in the amount of $435,000. And then we have, ordinance number 1435, ordinance authorizing emergency appropriation and data I have at this time a motion to enter, well, if there's no further discussion. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, prevents the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss a personnel matter, whereas minutes will be kept once the matter involving confidentiality as above no longer requires that confidentiality, and then the minutes can be made, be it resolved that the public is excluded from this meeting. Can I have a motion?
Second.
Offered by Councilwoman Wozzachowski, seconded by Councilman Freeman.
For the record, Mr. Mayor, the top permanent discussion,
Personnel.
personnel, can you be any more specific than that? Department,
Personnel DPW.
DPW personnel, thank you.
Councilman Carey, absent. Councilman Caspar?
Here.
Councilman Freeman?
Yep.
Councilman Nana?
Here.
Councilman Stiliano? Councilman Wozzachowski? We will be probably no longer than 5 minutes, and then we'll be in chambers.